The following video is part of an online course that helps with theory and standards. There's more details in the links below.
On the PADI Recreational Dive Planner exams, when it comes to calculating your dive plans, for some questions you get a choice as whether to use the eRDPml or the table, and other questions you don't get a choice. You must use the eRDPml. So all of the questions you can use the eRDPml if you want to, and some you could use the tables if you get the choice. Now what I'm going to try and say is that some people seem to prefer one to the other, but to be honest it depends on the question as to which one's the easiest. For example, anything on this front side of the table is really quite easy to use on here rather than opening up the eRDPml. For example, if you was to be asked what's the maximum amount of time you can dive at any depth, all you need to do is run your finger across, find the depth, come back down, and whatever's in the black box is the answer to that question. Also, what's the pressure group after a dive? Nice and easy. You just find your depth, find out how long you've been on there. The letter over here is the pressure group after one dive. And after a surface interval after your first dive, again, that's a really easy thing to do. You just run your finger across here, find the time of your surface interval, run it back down here, find out what pressure group you're in, and that's really easy. It's only when you flip the chart over and you find yourself on this side that it becomes a little bit of a nightmare to some people in calculating these repetitive dive things. So what I would say is if you've got a question that you get a choice of which one to use, I would use this one if you can answer it on the front side of it, but it's up to you which one you use. Now what I am going to do now is I'm going to go through some eRDPml questions using the eRDPml, not so much to show you how to use it. You probably know how to do it, but there are one or two quirks that sometimes it can throw at you, which I've seen before, sort of sometimes confuses people. So I'm just going to go through a few, simple exercises. Let's just see how we get on. So here we have a dive, and 28 meters for the first dive to 22 minutes, 45 minutes surface interval, 21 minutes, 18 minutes dive at 21 meters, and what is the pressure group is the question. So let's just see how the eRML can deal with something like this. Once you've switched it on, we can see that we've got select mode here, and just have a look, we've got over here the mode reset button. So if I click it, the first choice we've got is dive planning. Fine, that's the one we're going to use, to be honest, but let's see what else is in the box. We click it again, and here I think we've got like the first quirk. The word says surface interval, but for those of you who know about the eRDPml, it's not surface interval, is it? It's minimum surface interval. It doesn't say that, but that's what it is. If you're trying to find a surface interval with this mode, you're going to be unlucky. And the third mode is maximum depth. Well, we don't use that one very often. It's fairly self-explanatory. Click it again, we're back to dive planning. Now we need to accept that by pressing enter. Then it asks you, is it multi-level, yes or no? I don't know why that's not a mode, by the way, but it's not. So we click on no because it's not multi-level. Is this the first dive? We need to think about whether it is or not. It is in this case, but quite often it isn't, and we need to be careful. Here it says enter the depth. Well, the first depth we've got is 28 meters. So put 28 in, and then we can accept it here with enter. It tells us very kindly that our no decompression limit is 23 minutes, but we're only going to go for 22. So we can press enter to accept it, press 22. Press enter. It's now telling us that we need to do a safety stop at 3 meters. That's fine, so we accept that. It tells us our pressure group is O. And then it asks us what our surface interval is. Well, it's 45 minutes, so I can plug that in, click enter, and the pressure group after that is a G. Press enter, Then we enter the depth of the second dive, which is 21 metres. We can go for 19 minutes, but we're only going for 18, so we plug 18 minutes in, click enter. It tells us again this one needs a 3-minute safety stop, and our final pressure group is R. I now want to show you another example. Okay, so now I want to show you this example, and purely and simply the question is, what is the pressure group after a surface interval of 45 minutes if you was a P diver to start with? Now, as I said before, if you've got the choice, this is the easiest thing in the world to work out on here. If you're a P diver, you go for 45 minutes, you drop down here and you find yourself in pressure group H. But I want to show you what happens when you try and use the eRDPml for this one. So let's just have a look and see. So back to the eRDPml, we can see now that we've got the old one in here. We want to get rid of that. And the other thing I think is quite fun here, it says reset. So you can click the reset button till the cows come home, but nothing seems to happen. What I find is that you have to turn the whole thing off and turn it back on again, and that's where we are. Now let's have a look at the words that it gives us now, because what we want is the pressure group after a surface interval. So we can choose dive planning, that works, so we can click enter. Multi-level, no, it's nothing to do with multi-level, so we turn that off. Is it the first dive, yes or no? Well, we're in pressure group P, so it can't be our first dive, so we put no. And here it says pressure group after surface interval. Well, you might think it's your birthday, because this is exactly what you need. You need the pressure group after surface interval, but that is not what it's asking. What it's asking is, do you know the? They're the words that you need to have to put in front of anything that this states to you. Do you know the pressure group after surface interval? And your answer is no. So you need to be careful with the wording on this. It's not always as user-friendly as you think. So the answer is no. Now, okay, what is the pressure group before the surface interval? Now we can put P in, that's nice and easy. Press enter. Then it says, what's the surface interval? 45. Press enter. And it tells us H. Well, actually, we knew it was H quite a while ago just by looking at the front of this. But there we go. I just wanted to show you some of those words. So now the next thing I'm going to do is show you how the minimum surface interval thing works on the eRDPml. It's much, much, much easier than the table. So let's see how that works. Okay, so the question is, what is the minimum surface interval if you need to do a dive of 20 metres for 24 minutes followed by 16 metres for 45 minutes? Let's have a look, see how it works. It's quite straightforward, this one. So once again, pressing reset doesn't seem to do any good, so I'm going to switch it off, switch it back on again, and this time the mode we're going to use is surface interval, which should mean minimum surface interval, of course. So okay, now is it the first dive? Yes it is, so we can just click on yes. It asks us what the first depth is, which was 20 metres, and then press enter. It tells us we could stay down there for 45 minutes, which we accept, but we're only going for 24. Now when we press enter now, just notice it doesn't make any difference in this question, but it might in future. Notice it didn't tell us what the pressure group is after that step. It's just asking what's the depth of the next one. So okay, so let's put the which was 16 metres. Enter. And it says the adjusted no decompression limit is 65 minutes, but we're only going for 45. Click on enter. It says we need to do a safety stop on this dive, and then we've got an answer of 12 minutes. So there's the answer here, 12 minutes. So quite straightforward. Okay, I'm going to go on to a tricky one now. Probably the most trickiest one that people find. They get stuck on this one most of all. So let's just have a look at it. Okay, you may have seen a question like this before. So what this is all about is PADI want you to calculate the surface interval between 3 dives. Well, they want the minimum surface interval between 3 dives, and once you've worked out what they are, it asks you what is the total length of time from starting here to finishing here, and you need to count the safety stops in as well, which is why I've put a list here. The dives we know are 14 minutes, 45 minutes and 38 minutes, so I've added those minutes up, they come to 97. We don't yet know if they need to have safety stops. It's compulsory safety stops they're looking for here, and we don't know what the surface intervals are here yet, so we need to calculate those. So this, to some people, it looks a bit tricky to start with, and the reason is when they start trying to fathom out how they're going to do it, they get a bit unstuck, because if you think about it, we want minimum surface interval, so we could choose that mode, minimum surface interval, to find the minimum surface interval here, but once we've done that, we can't go any further. So then what other people might want to do is, okay, we'll go into dive planning, and then we can work through to here, but we can't go any further to here because we don't know what the surface interval is. In other words, whichever way you do it, you can't go all the way. So what I'm going to do is start with minimum surface intervals to find out what the minimum surface interval is here, and then we've got no choice but to start again from the beginning and then work through with dive planning and just see how far we get with it. So let's see how this goes. So we're going to start off with surface interval. We switch it on and select mode of minimum surface interval. First dive, yes. Enter the depth of the first dive is 32 metres. We can stay there for 17 minutes, but we're only going to stay there for 14. There's a safety stop on the first dive, we can put that in a minute. The second dive is 18 metres. For 45 minutes. It's another 3-minute safety stop. And we've found that we've got a minimum surface interval of 1 hour and 12 minutes. So we'll fill in a few details. 3 minutes here, 3 minutes here, 1 hour and 12 minutes. So we can put this surface interval of, I'm going to put that as 72 minutes there. And now we've got no choice but to start again from the beginning and work through. So let's do that. Start with dive planning, enter first multi-level no, first dive yes, enter depth of 32 metres. 14 minutes. We're in pressure group J. Now we can put our surface interval of 1 hour and 12 minutes. Pressure group B. Enter. Now the next dive was 18 metres. We could stay there for 45 minutes, and actually that is the time we're staying there. 45 minutes. Another 3-minute safety stop. And we're in pressure group W. Now that tells us something, doesn't it? If we're in pressure group W here, this surface interval must be 60 minutes. It can't be anything less than that because of the WXYZ rule. So we can put 60 minutes in here, and we can continue with everything else on our chart here. We now know also that this had a 3-minute safety stop, and we also know that this had a 60-minute surface interval. So now we've got all of the numbers. So we can add these up. 3 is 9, and then 62 over here is 132. Add these up, 16, 18, 4, 30, 238 minutes. It's at that stage you need to cross your fingers and have a look at those multi-choice answers and hope that there's one that says 238 minutes, and that'll be the answer. I only want one more example to show you now, and that is a multi-level dive using the eRDPml. So what the question often asks on these PADI exams is they give you the 3 depths of the multi-level dive, and they ask you to spend as long as you can on each of those levels, and then they'll ask you how long was the whole dive, including the safety stop at the end. We already know that we need to put a safety stop in because we're starting at 35 metres, so we definitely know that there's one up here at 3 minutes. So we can add 3 already onto our list of a sum. So let's see how this goes. It's quite straightforward, the multi-level one, to be honest. It's nice and easy. So starting back with resetting this. Oh yes, choose dive planning. Multi-level, yes. First dive, yes. And this is nice and easy then. What's the first level? 35. So we put 35 metres. Click enter. And the NDL was 13 minutes. So we can spend 13 minutes at that depth. And then the next level, 13. The next level is 24 metres, so we just plumb that in. Click enter. It says we can stay there for 7 minutes, so we will. Enter level 3, 15. Okay, so it tells us we're in pressure group U, and it also means that we've spent another 15 minutes there. So we can add all of these numbers up, 13, 3, 7 and 15, add the whole lot up, so that's 10, 13, 18, 38 minutes. So the whole dive was 38 minutes, including the safety stop. So that's about it, guys. I want to apologise to you Imperial users. I've done all of the examples in metric. It works exactly the same with Imperial, so the methodology is exactly the same. And in all of the questions that I've got in the next lesson, I've got a mixture of metric and Imperial. So you're not being left out there. It's just that my machines are all running in metric. So I look forward to you in the next video session.
So let's take a look at what's in your course. Over here on the left hand side we can see the main headings. I'm sure you can recognise these words. So they're the theory sections plus standards. Now within each of these categories we can find that there are several lessons. I think overall there's about 40 lessons, and each of those lessons are broken down into, well, either videos like this one here, and
so let's take a look at some of the questions that
there we go. So a video. Some of these are broken down into some presentations here. So we've got like presentations.
If you haven't dived for a while,
and
what program?
We have quizzes as well. So we have questions which are very PADI type of questions. So you can see these questions here, and we've got 4 answers, just like you have on most PADI exams. The difference between this and PADI exams is the fact that if you get the wrong answer here, not only will it tell you you've got the wrong answer, but it will also give you some guidance as to what the correct answer is and why it's the correct answer. So that's great. So you can work through all of those sections, and when you have done, you'll be ready for the final mock theory exams. And we've got 5 here, A, B, C, D and E. And each of these exams is written with the same content and the same format as those exams that you're going to find on your final instructor exam. The wording of the questions, of course, isn't the same. That's not the intention. The idea is that you can understand this and teach it to others as well if necessary. So here we've got a mock exam, 5 different subjects, 12 questions in each subject, just like you'll find on the IE. You can work through all 5 exams and you can mark them yourself. Here's the answer key. When we move on to standard exams, we've got the same. You can see that we've updated these like the theory ones as well. These are 2021, so all of these are going to be answers you can find in the latest PADI instructor manual. So once again, we have exams structured exactly the same as you'll find on your final instructor exam. So work through these and answer those. And when you've done that, you can mark your own. Here we go. Now you can mark your answers. And not only have we got the right answer, but because the standard exam, the whole point of a standard exam is that you know where to find things in the manual. It's not necessary to know everything about an instructor manual in your own head. You do need to know where to find the answer. And to help you here, every single question that we've got where you can find it in the latest 2021 instructor manual. So here, like this, for example, this you'll find in the link in courses section on page 43. So that's the structure of this program. It's a lot of fun working through it. I'm looking forward to working with you. And when you're ready, we can start the first lesson, which is, of course, everybody's favorite, physics. Look forward to seeing you there.